3 years ago, on a cold and bitter October evening, Sam Hill and Kim Yoshida of alternative band Boys vs. Girls returned to their motel rooms around 1:30 a.m.
They had just finished their show, and I told them that I loved them, and that was the last time I ever saw them.
Did you see the look on his face, though?
The team musicians were reportedly
Totally
under
lost.
the influence, and staff said they got a noise complaint around 2 a.m.
Someone called saying a couple was fighting in another room, so my team checked it out.
Diana and her staff knocked on the door several times, but there was no answer. They assumed things had calmed down and returned back to their station. But around 2:30 a.m., a man was heard screaming. That man was Yoshida. Next-door neighbors said they heard loud music coming from the room one moment and what sounded like furniture being thrown across the room the next moment.
And suddenly, me and my boyfriend heard this man screaming in agony.
Police wouldn't arrive on the scene until nearly 3 hours later, but it was already too late. When the Port Huron police arrived, both Yoshida and Hill were found dead.
We have
The
breaking news
news
tonight
sent
regarding the band
shockwaves
Boys
across the
vs.
music
Girls.
industry.
2 members have been found dead under mysterious circumstances.
Hill's and Yoshida's death would only be one part of a series of controversies. Noticeably absent that night was the band's frontman Will Ramsey. Not only was Ramsey allegedly not there the night his former bandmates died, but authorities couldn't find him even after their deaths were made public.
You don't just go missing the night your 2 bandmates are found dead. It just doesn't happen.
Ramsey's last known whereabouts remain speculation. Surveillance footage shows a black vehicle pulling up to Ramsey's home roughly 2 hours before Yoshida's and Hale's bodies were discovered. The footage cuts off before anyone can be seen stepping out the black SUV. When police arrived at his quiet country home, no one was there. Many started to speculate that the charismatic singer and rapper had something to do with Hill and Yoshida's death. While some accused Ramsey of being involved in Yoshida and Hill's death, some fans speculated that he too was dead, and that the government had all 3 members of the band killed. Even officials would dismiss such claims
Some would
as
say
nonsense.
it's odd that the band who was critical of your administration just happened to kill themselves.
Yeah.
6 months before their untimely death, Boys vs. Girls was on top of the world. The band, which formed in 1991, exploded into the mainstream conscience when their single Asleep was released on LED Records during the fall of '95.
When they dropped Asleep, I remember thinking, this is an important band.
The song was largely seen as a political statement in opposition to the Eden government's happy agenda. The provocative song would introduce the world to a band that was unafraid of tackling complex and controversial topics. And while that approach earned Boys vs. Girls an almost cult-like fan base, it would also turn them into public enemy number 1. The band's abandonment of gender norms, traditional ideas on God and mental health landed them in hot water with prominent religious figures and put them on the FBI watch list. They would be sued by the government. The band's A&R, Earl Smith, warned the band to be careful about publicly criticizing the government.
I remember telling them, be careful. You're dealing with a corrupt government that knows how to make people disappear.
Smith's warning would echo true nearly a year later. But how did Kim Yoshida and Sam Hill die? And what happened to Will Ramsey? Was it another case of rock and roll lifestyle catching up? Or was there something more sinister at play?